Heeseung closed the car door with his shaky hand and walked in front of you with his charming, well suited figure. So results are different now. He smiled evilly. You looked at the man with slightly red eyes and trembling lips. I was an idiot, so I believed that you would be loyal to me for life. Huh? Loyal? He looked at you mockingly and approached you. What about you? It was different situation, and you didn't come after me and stick with that girl. Haesang laughed coldly. It's useless to say anything. I had like to ask who was the man with you that night. It's the biggest failure for a man if a man can't take care of his own women. Deep male voice with soft mewl on the background. Haesang felt as a man he had been insulted. He wished to find a man who had slept with you and kill him on the spot. In the city, who would dare to talk to Crown Director in such a manner? Tell me, who was that man? He suddenly pinched your chin, eyes filled with anger. You don't have rights to ask about him. You looked at his cruelty and anger, then you slowly smiled. He is better than you, whether in charm, appearance, and status. You can't compare to him. I will be his woman. Looking at little beautiful girl, Hee-sang laughed in sarcasm. Be his woman? Wine? How thirsty you are to be someone's girlfriend at such a young age. And you slapped him with force that his face turned side. No matter how thirsty I am, it's not your turn to teach me. I was blind to fall in love with a man like you. You believed in his sweet talk. Such a man with high status had never been slapped by single woman. Oh, his face twitched and he grabbed your arm tightly. You women, how dare you to hit me? You were just illegitimate daughter of Kim family. Without background, I had treated you so well. Do you know what the consequences of answering me will be? He-sang, let me go. You doesn't have qualification to touch me. Qualification? He slowly touched his lips and smiled devilishly. When he asked you to come, didn't you prepare to come happily to spend the night with me? You looked at him with disgust. You used to say that you don't wanted to have me before marriage, but it turned out that you were just pretending to be reserved. Don't you think you are cheap? Tell me, who was that man? You looked at the man who you had loved for many years with teary eyes. I have said that you are not qualified to ask. He sang, you are a shameless man. Falling in love with you is the most despicable thing I had done in my life. It was clear that you had catch him kissing another girl in front of you first, but now he came to question you for cheating. His face suddenly sank. Really? His gloomy eyes darkened. Listen to me carefully. You are just a lowly, illegitimate daughter of Kim family. I won't look at you again. I have nothing to do with you anymore. When you heard word illegitimate, your heart tightened and you feel a sharp pain in your heart. You had expected with anyone, but not by him to say these words in your lips. He sang, don't go too far. Neither you nor him wants to explain and patch up. Both looked stubborn and full of ego. He sang, do you know why I came to see you here today? Because you don't want me to dump you. Which it? He looked at your moist eyes and memory flashed of you spending your night with another man, and his eyes turned cold. But it's useless. I am with Umji now, he said without hesitation. He wanted to see you jealous and begged him to give you another chance, but instead, you raised your hand and splashed juice that you had bought on the way. Such an idiot. And you left from there. Driver and his assistant rushed forward. Sir, are you alright? For long, he couldn't react, and then his horrible voice came from behind. Wine, you are dead for sure. and he asked his man to take you to the police station for trying to harm intentionally and told them to detain you for 10 days. You're sitting in the detention room, a policeman came. It's your phone. He threw your phone towards you. You cursed and glared at him. Hey, be careful with your attitude. After offending Mr. Lee, he still left you in mercy, detaining for only 10 days. You picked up your phone. Officer, if my phone break, you have to pay for this. Lee family is one of rich in the country and no one wanted to offend them. Many people already know that you had an affair during your engagement time and was kicked out of house by Kim family. So policeman stood there fearlessly, answered the call fast and gave it back to me. He rudely said, you checked the call log and found it's from Mr. Song. Secretary from Hype, you called back. Miss Fine, your time is almost off. Please tell me your answer. Song Minho asked without delay, and it seems you find your savior. I'm at ABC police station and I have thought it through. If Jungkook takes me out of here, then I will marry him. You looked at the police officer arrogantly and hung up the call. You wait and watch. You mouthed. When officer heard it, his face changed. After 5 minutes, they received call from the High President's manager, Mr. Park, the dangerous man. Without delay, they let you go and reporters are already out of police station. When they saw you, they immediately rushed front and started to get questions and criticism you. Miss Vine, how did you get arrested? Are you really kicked out of Kim family? Is it true that you cheated on your fiancée? Many and many questions, cause you are from well-known family and often paparazzi target you being a legitimate daughter. Facing the sharp questions of these reporters, you smiled. I will give you answer here. Yes, I cheated cause he is not suitable for me. I'm not interested in man who can't even hold on for 2 minutes. And people heard your shameless answer and started to hype more and more. You walked towards black car that was parked and one of handsome man got out of the car expressionlessly with 2 bodyguards. He stood coldly and warned you, Miss Fine, I'm President Jones' manager and I will give you warning in advance. President Jones doesn't like it when others create trouble for him. You smiled decisively. Didn't he say in the morning that he would help me to solve the problems? Mr. Park narrowed his eyes and opened the car door for you. President Jones booked the church. Please be quick, you have to get ready. Your wedding gonna held as soon as possible. He was stunned and shouted, What? Why it's so fast? Are we going to marry publicly? Jimin turned back. Miss Fine, you were thinking too much. Of course, it's hidden marriage. There is not much time for now. You breathed, patting your heart in a relief. That's good. You were taken to high-class wedding store and put most beautiful long wedding dress, then started to do makeup. Since you cut the hair short, they could only give it highlight and make it messy bun and put the simple yet expensive crown on your head. Looking at the mirror, you were amazed yourself. Looking at the beautiful young bride, you wanted to click the pictures and posted it online right away, but you can't. You just clicked some and smiled. Goodbye, Mr. Short Youth. I'm going to get married. Church was decorated simple, but it looks expensive. You thought there would be only you and him and his mans, but who knew that there is some rich families and his friends. You were so nervous. You saw groom in front of stage waiting for his bride. Among the people, you know Kim Taeyong and Song Min-ho beside Park Jae-min. Wow, Jungkook's decisions are always beyond everyone's expectations. His friends were amazed. Your hands started to sweat and you leaned back to whisper to Mr. Park. Didn't you say that it's hidden marriage? For what reason are there so many people here? Miss Fine just relaxed. They are some friends of President Jones. Since it's official marriage, they're just here to witness for Jones family. It was only then that you remembered why he wanted to get married. It's because of his family's nagging. You tried to calm down yourself and walked steadily. This church is simply romantic. There is not so high luxurious decoration and all. Groom wore a white suit just like matching with bride. Standing there with his hands clasped behind with sense of noble, he is handsome. You stood by his side and greeted him somehow hesitate, nervous. Hello, did you go to Itaewon to look for Lee Heeseung? He asked directly. You straighten your back? Yes, so what? Without my permission, you are not allowed to go alone to see him. He glanced at you from the corner of his eyes. I will make it clear to you first. Kim family can't do anything to Lee family. Let alone you. You clenched your fists. The public officers said that you deliberately tried to hurt him and poured juice on him. I was wrong, you admitted, and he looked at you in surprise. I should have taken the acid to ruin his face. Whenever you think about him, you felt pain and hatred. Jungkook drew back his gaze slightly and said indifferently, Anyway, forget it. I don't want to advise someone who's so young. You have to report to me everything, what you are going to do in the future. Why? You are afraid that he will restrict your freedom after marriage. We will get married in a mutually beneficial way, won't we? Why should I listen to you? Because I'm going to be your legal husband. Your lips moved but said nothing. I repeat, the marriage agreement. I thought you know this morning. We will live separately, but I have to serve you in ordinary time. We will share rooms and I will get monthly salary. You will help me to solve my problems, then I have to give birth to child for you. Blah blah blah. Isn't he gay? Wouldn't it be better to have artificial pregnancy? You wonder. It's good that you understand, he said, and I will add the rules here. Don't reveal our marriage to the outside world. It's secret marriage, okay? You didn't care about it at all? Okay, I got it. He nodded and prepared himself to be great husband in the future in your most brilliant and beautiful youth. You walked into the church to get married to the man you had met few days ago. Even though you had seen him in the TV and newspapers, it's so surreal. You were going to marry him without relatives, witnessing and blessing. You missed your two brothers, Forkim family. Wish they were here to give you blessing. You both had to make vow in front of God. You were willing to let this man be your legal husband and be loyal to you for the rest of your life. Going to get married and be a legal wife of someone else, even if it is hidden to be called. Suddenly, Lee Hee-sung's face flashed in your eyes. The way he used to say that you were his only girl and he wanted to spend his rest of life. How unfaithful he was, lying to you with his straight face. You had screamed countless times his name and said how you loved him, but there is not such a thing in the world. Love is just word. This feeling will go sooner or later. If you didn't love Heeseung and became angry with his doings, you would never take type 2 steps, and the father who always taught you would not be disappointed and turned his back to you. Now you had no way but to get married to this man and rely on him. You sobbed silently. A big warm hand held your hand. It was like a warm stream of warmth flowing into your heart. You glanced at him. Don't be distracted, he said in a hollow voice. It's not a bad thing for you to marry me. You took a deep breath as priest started to read vow. Mr. John and Miss Kim. Are you both willing to marry each other and hold this way forward to be each other's strength, in richer and poorer, in sickness and healthy for better and worse? Promise to love and be honor and cherish each other till death do apart. I do, you stuttered, and your voice is almost inaudible. Jungkook glanced at you. I do, and he answered calmly. He didn't have much reaction. He is calm and collected. Then I announced you both as husband and wife. Now please exchange your rings and kiss the bride. Minho immediately brought rings on tray covered with velvet. You looked at his incredible, charming face through the veil in surprise. Give me your hand. With shockness, you raised your right hand, your left hand. He cast you a mild glare. You slowly looked down and immediately put your right hand down to raise another. Guests burst into laughter. I bet Mr. John will be distressed with his little wife in the future. Why does he like such a young girl? Did he change his preference? Someone comments and they didn't go further with their words but enjoy the ceremony. No one expected Jungkook to get married in a hurry. He gently put ring on your ring finger and gently stroked with his thumb. Will you feel wrong if you marry me? You blushed and lowered your head. No, I won't. After all, salary is really high. His thumb stopped moving and he let your hand go. Yes, it's very high. With trembling hands, you put ring on his finger that was slender and wide, that could see full joint. Even his nail is really good and looks work of art. His hand is also expensive on the sale. Well, when did Mr. June get time to buy the rings? I only agreed an hour ago. He took his hand back. After you left this morning, I booked a church and bought wedding dress with rings. Like he knew that you will not refuse him. You were surprised. You had already given up the idea of marrying him. But after what Heeseung had done made your sense clear. You need some powerful backing. Indeed, this person don't look like his age at all. Handsome and have bad boy vibe. Have good figure that made you gulp your saliva down. I have said you that there is no room for you to refuse. This man, suddenly he took your slender waist and kissed on your lips through the veil, and the ritual is completed. After marriage vow and promise kiss and ring exchange, you sign your name in the paper and send it to Civil Affairs Bureau for marriage registration and send to June family both for lavender pendant as a love interest. And crowd started to applause. Then wedding is over and he walked down with you from stage, went to sit on the chair that was prepared for groom and bride. Hearing the congrats from his friends, Jungkook smiled. Since this marriage didn't hurry and not everyone was able to buy any gifts for bride, Jungkook suggested them to give money to bride as a wedding gifts. Taeyong and Jimin looked at each other. This President John is cunning. He's sure trying to squeeze money from them. He was clearly owner of multinational companies and didn't lack money. They even came here leaving their important work. No one can defeat this President John. Minho, let my wife received her gifts and report to me. Jungkook went to talk with John family's housekeeper. He was so scared when many people came and congratulations you for your wedding and give check as a gifts. Millions and millions amount. Madam, don't worry, our President John won't let you down. Minho sat standing behind like your personal bodyguard. Aish, this ungrateful kid really got married. I'm really happy. Hope you will get along with him. Man sat as he handed the check. He's so handsome. Mr. Kim, advisor of military force. He smiled. Looking at you blushing shyly, Jungkook turned to look at the man sent by Joan family. See, I'm married. That is my wife. The lawyer will send the marriage certificate after registered in Civil Affairs Bureau. Tell them not to bother me again in the future. Man from John family bowed his head. Okay, master, then you should bring madam back to John family. Looking at incredibly large check, you're lost for a moment. Song Minho walked to inform you, Madam, President John has invited his friends to attend wedding and tonight there is a little party. He is asking you to go with him. You looked at the group of extraordinary men and shook your head quickly. I'm not going. You don't know them, so why would you go to take a part? Okay then, President John asked me to send you back, but you can't go back to your friend's apartment. You have to stay at President John's residence. There is a three villa in a name of President John. Go to his place. You are stunned. Even though you were grew in a rich family, but the man you married was even richer. After confirming which place he used to stay least, you asked Minho to send you there. Itaewon is one of the rich places in Seoul. If one could buy apartment there, they will be considered as rich. However, Heeseung had built big luxurious house there. Your purpose is to avoid Jungkook in your other time. That's why you choose the place where Jungkook barely live. You wonder, will you meet Heeseung here every time?